In this tutorial we will use the freeform box we created in the cube_box project. The idea for this project is to turn the cube into a box that will scale properly when we change the baseline width. We will learn how to set the active section to scale its height with its width, how to set a point's horizontal and vertical stretch properties, and how to save time using copy and paste to add flaps. If you're ready, let's get started.
Let's start with our cube-shaped box and go into our construction view. And we're going to start by changing our main section to scale the height with the width. And once we do that, it will change the baseline to 400. And you can see that the box maintains its shape and it scales to the height with the width. But the other panels are not scaled, as you can see. So we need to do something about that. So we'll go back to 200. And then we'll go into our other panels and we'll set them to scale with the height for the width. So we want to double click on the panel, check that scale height to width checkbox, and we'll go get all of our panels that are necessary, and you'll see there we are. So now when we go over and we change the baseline to 400, you can see that all of the panels will change to the proper setting. Let's take a look at that in 3D and fold it up and see how everything folds together. And it looks fine, except for one problem I think is pretty obvious, is that the tuck flap, the glue flaps, and the dust flaps have not changed their size proportionally. So let's reset the width to 200, and then we need to go back to the construction view. And after we get into the construction view, we want to make some adjustments to the flaps that didn't resize. So let's select the left dust flap, and we want to set the stretch mode so that as we change the width of the box, the size of the flaps also change proportional. To access the stretch modes, we can draw a box around the point with the selection tool, or we can draw around a group of points. Once we've selected that, the arrows will show us which edge the point is locked to, and then we could go in and right click on a point and go select the horizontal stretch mode and proportional, and then the vertical stretch mode, and also set it to proportional. So now the points should be proportional from the distance of the edge of the flap, but I think we still have a problem. Let's set our flap width to 400, and now when we look at it, we can see that it maintained the proportions on the offsets, but the flap height is still wrong. So let's go back, change it back to 200, and then we'll see what we need to do there. Going back to our flap and changing the scale height is going to give us, I think, what we want. So when we now change it to 400 and we look at our flap, it's all proportional, and that's exactly what we want. We need to do that to the other side, and we also need to do that to the dust flaps or the glue flaps, and so we're going to go through each of those, and we'll set it back to 200, and then we'll go to this glue flap here, do the same thing we did before. We're going to highlight all of the points click on one point and set the horizontal stretch mode to proportional, and then right click again, stretch mode vertical, set it proportional, and don't forget we're also going to scale the height to the width. And then when we change it to 400, the glue flap has maintained its shape, but you can see the other glue flaps haven't. Now we could go through the same process on all of the glue flaps and dust flaps, but there's an easier way to do it. So first we'll go through and delete the flaps that we don't want by using the shortcut keys SD, which stand for at section delete section. So we're going to delete all the flaps that we want to change and we don't want, and then once we get these deleted, we simply copy and paste the new flap. So we'll go over to the dust flap and double click on it, and then use Control C, and to copy it we'll go over to this side and Control V to paste, and there's our flap. So we're going to do the same thing with the glue flaps, and we'll go and paste them around. We want to make sure that when we place them, we put them on the right side of the line, facing out of the box. So now we'll put this one on, and then we'll be done with all of our glue flaps. Then we're going to go up to this tug flap, and instead of, we can't paste it, so we're just going to go ahead and do what we've already done with the others in the horizontal stretch mode, proportional, vertical stretch mode, proportional, and now we have the scale, the height, the width, and that gives us our finished box. We changed the baseline to 400 now. It looks the same, but everything has changed or scaled to the proper dimension. Well, that's about it. Thank you.